Well, first, let me make clear that these pushbacks are blatantly illegal. Anybody has a right to come to a country's border and to seek asylum. They don't necessarily have a right to stay in the country forever, but they have a right to have their asylum claim fairly heard. The problem with the pushbacks is it deprives people of that right. It says, no, we're not going to listen to your claim. We're just going to push you back to where you came from. And in the case of Greece, it pushes them back to Turkey. So this is blatantly illegal. It violates international refugee law. And it is clear that the Greek government is doing this as a matter of policy. Human Rights Watch has documented many, many cases of these kind of illegal pushbacks, both at land and at sea. And sometimes it's done by Greek authorities themselves. Sometimes the Greek authorities have actually been using plainclothes people to do the pushback. But it adds up to the same thing. The Greek government is responsible for these pushbacks. Now, Human Rights Watch has talked to the government about this. And the official line is, this isn't happening. Now, that's a blatant lie. It obviously is happening. The unofficial line is, well, we may be doing this, but this is what the European Union wants. And that is not an acceptable answer. First, the European Union has no greater right to engage in this illegality than the Greek government does. But second, the Greek government admits that most asylum seekers who come to Greece ultimately move on to other places in Europe. Relatively few stay in Greece. And the Greek government's informal explanation is, well, if we allow these people to come to Greece, they'll move on to Germany or the Netherlands, and those governments will pressure us. They'll be unhappy with us. Mm-hmm. But what we've seen is that the European Union really, under pressure, has recently admitted that illegal pushbacks are wrong, that they should not be happening. Indeed, Mr. Leggeri, who had been the head of Frontex, the European Union border agency, was forced to resign, in part because he was closing his eyes to these illegal pushbacks. So, whatever the, informal European Union policy is, informally, some of the European Union governments may well want these pushbacks to happen because if they're not happening only in Greece, they're happening in Poland and elsewhere. But the official policy is that this is wrong, and the law is clear. This is illegal. So there is no excuse for this policy. And the Greek government knows that, which is why they are denying the reality, denying the facts, rather than complying with the law.